Hello and welcome to another episode of Inside the Inferno. I'm Adam Keenan, and I'm thrilled to be joined at the desk by Jesse Davis.
That's right, Adam. We have a packed show with all things Arizona State athletics. Starting on the hardwood, Arizona State's women's basketball was in action on Wednesday night when they traveled to Colorado to take on a struggling Buffaloes team who had lost 4 of their last 5. The Sun Devils had a lot of struggles of their own in this game, managing only to score 20 points in the first half. ASU went on to lose 89-54, dropping its record to 9-20. One of the few bright spots for the Maroon and Gold was the play of junior guard Jaylen Brown, who led the team with 17 points. The Sun Devils finished the regular season on March 1st when they host the Arizona Wildcats.
On the men's side, head coach Bobby Hurley and his team's woes throughout conference play have been well documented, as the team now has just a 13-15 record and maintains a 4-13 mark in the Big 12 Conference. Now joining us at the desk is our Kobe Bronstein. Kobe, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
ASU is coming off a rough loss on Wednesday night to BYU, where they just had 7 scholarship players available and multiple starters down and out. What can you say about the adversity that this team has faced this season?
Yeah, they faced a lot of adversity, Adam. It's been a roller coaster of a season for Bobby Hurley and company. And the Sun Devils started off their non-conference slate strong with impressive victories against teams like GCU. And then also they had victories against teams currently leading in their conference, like St. Mary's in New Mexico. So in their non-conference slate, it went the way that they wanted. But once Big 12 play started, they have been decimated by injuries, and it's been lingering throughout conference play, their first season in the Big 12. And freshman guard Josan Sandin missed significant time with an ankle injury. He played his best game in a while against BYU, scoring 18 points, but he hasn't been at his best since that injury. And then 17-year-old star freshman center Jaden Quaintance nursed an ankle injury a few weeks ago, and then also now is dealing with a right knee problem after arguably his best game of the year against Kansas State just a week ago. And then after all that, senior guard Alston Mason was a late scratch due to illness before the BYU game. He was out, and he was the leading scorer on the team that's still there because B.J. Freeman was dismissed due to conduct detrimental to the team. So there have been a lot of wrenches that have been thrown at ASU this season. It hasn't gone according to plan, and it spiraled into a lost season for the team.
The injury bug is certainly no joke, and Bobby Hurley is also clearly frustrated, maybe even questioning how long he will remain the head coach at Arizona State. Take a listen to what Hurley had to say following the loss to BYU on Wednesday.
When you see like Adam Miller go down and then he can't really come back, it's a microcosm of everything that's happened, and it's just that's why I said, is the universe talking and saying something, or things just not meant to be? It's just like, because when I walked in the building, I had him for like 38 to 40 minutes. I'm scared to wake up. I hope I wake up tomorrow. I hope I will, but I'm scared to see what tomorrow brings.
Wow, I mean, that's not a message you hear from a coach every day. What did you make of it, and how do you think it affects his leadership of the program in the future?
I mean, Jesse, it's tough. It was definitely a cryptic message that puts his own job security in question. You don't see that too often. And in Bobby Hurley's 10 years in Tempe, this is definitely rock bottom for the program. You hate to see a coach that does that, and he cares tremendously about the guys that he has in the locker room, and he's doing everything he can to try to change the narrative. And Bobby Hurley, Jesse, is a winner. One of the most decorated college basketball players of all time, a 2-time national champion at Duke in the early 90s, but coaching is clearly a different beast, and fans love him because he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's always the most passionate person in the room wherever he goes. But if the product, Jesse and Adam, is not winning on the court, the program may need to turn to a different voice.
Kobe, despite the loss on Wednesday night, freshman guard Trevor Best really impressed in his first substantial minutes off the bench. What do you make of his performance?
He was absolutely outstanding. The kid is fearless, and I say kid because he's just 17 years old, Adam, and one of 2 17-year-olds with Jaden Quaintance, and he was just in high school 2 months ago in December. Best was able to get eligibility for the start of the second semester, and he's been in and out of the lineup, but he had 18 points. He erupted on offense, was a pest on defense, and I think everyone at Desert Financial Arena was thinking, where has he been the last however many games? And your answer, Adam, was, again, he's been in high school. He was at Word of God Christian Academy in North Carolina, and that connection with Jaden Quaintance came over from North Carolina to Tempe for the start of this semester, and boy, I mean, this freshman class with guys like Josan Sannon, JQ, Amir Ali, you can throw in Trevor Best. They certainly have a very bright future in the maroon and gold.
Thanks for joining us at the desk, Kobe, to talk about ASU men's hoops.
Sun Devils men's basketball also made news this past weekend, not for what they did on the hardwood, but for what a former ASU athlete did over the offseason. Former ASU standout guard and 11-time NBA All-Star James Harden revealed that he made a substantial donation to the program's Sun Angel NIL Collective last year. It's a contribution thought to have reached the six-figure mark. Here's what Harden had to say in an interview with Front Office Sports.
NIL nowadays is the most important thing, just because kids want to, be compensated for their play and their work, and which, it makes sense. I wanted to be a part of helping, the team and the school get players because, we're a very, very great program and a great school. And if NIL is the problem, then I can help with that. So I'm still involved. Like I live, in Scottsdale all the time. So it just made sense. And, I love being on campus.
The NIL contributions helped ASU make major waves in recruiting last offseason, as Hurley managed to land the program's highest touted recruit in school history in freshman forward Jaden Quaintance, along with highly sought-after five-star freshman guard Josan Sannon. Still, it hasn't panned out for wins for ASU this season, as the Sun Devils find themselves near the bottom of the Big 12 standings heading into March.
Switching from the court to the ice, where number 12 Sun Devil hockey entered this past weekend series against number 3 Western Michigan with their eyes set on first place. Arizona State split the series, winning 5-3 on Friday night and losing 4-3 in overtime on Saturday. Our very own Tanner Buck joins us in studio to dissect the Sun Devils' hunt for first place in the NCHC. Now, Tanner, the Sun Devils certainly need a lot to go right in the next week to clinch first place in the conference. How can they get the job done?
Jesse, ASU currently sits in second place with 44 points, trailing first place Western Michigan by just 3 points. The best thing the Sun Devils can do is sweep the Omaha Mavericks this weekend by winning both games in regulation, earning them 6 points. The Sun Devils will have to depend on Western Michigan to lose twice this weekend, with at least 3 or more points gained from this upcoming series to move into first.
How important is it for the Sun Devils to take care of business this weekend against Omaha, now that Western Michigan holds a couple games at hand?
ASU has already clinched a spot in the playoff tournament, but the good thing for any team is that they control their own destiny. To secure home ice, they need at least 3 points from this series. With 3 points, Arizona State will guarantee a top 4 seed and host a quarterfinal playoff series in Mullet Arena. Like I mentioned, the Sun Devils need just 1 win in regulation this weekend to clinch a home playoff series.
What are some key areas, do you think, that Arizona State's game that they need to do to have success in the postseason?
One key area for the Maroon and Gold is its opportunities on the power play. They are first in the conference and third in the NCAA with 27 power play goals. Another thing that needs to carry on into the playoffs is the high-powered offense. The Sun Devils are ranked 4th in the NCAA with 118 goals scored this season and averaging 3.7 goals per game. ASU's offense will continue to be crucial to winning games.
Thanks, Tanner, for taking the time to give us an update on Greg Powers' squad.
On the diamond, Arizona State baseball has gotten off to a blazing start in their 2025 campaign with a 7-2 record. Last weekend, ASU battled back to win a 3-game series over Oral Roberts after dropping the series opener on Friday night. Junior third baseman New Contrades earned Big 12 Co-Player of the Week honors with a weekend where he slashed for a .385 batting average and launched 3 home runs. After splitting a midweek 2-game set against UCLA, the Sun Devils now prepare to take on Minnesota this weekend. Our Parker Bay has a preview of the 3-game series against the Golden Gophers.
Coming off a series split against the UCLA Bruins in Los Angeles, ASU baseball returns to Phoenix Municipal Stadium for a 3-game series against the University of Minnesota. The Golden Gophers are fresh off the Carback Ground Classic in Round Rock, Texas, defeating the number 7 Oregon State Beavers 10-4 this past Sunday. Minnesota also kept it to a 2-run affair in the loss to the number 2 Virginia Cavaliers the day before. Minnesota redshirt junior infielder Jake Elbury leads the team in batting average and hits. Bringing in a majority of the Golden Gophers on base is junior outfielder and catcher Drew Berkeland, whose 9 RBIs and 3 home runs rank for the team's best in these categories. In the other dugout, Arizona State redshirt sophomore outfielder Brandon Compton continues to be a force to be reckoned with. The Buckeye Arizona native's .360 batting average leads the Sun Devils. Compton has walked a whopping 15 times this season, tied for the second most in all of college baseball. Senior first baseman Jacob Tobias and junior outfielder Kian Vu's 10 hits are tied for the team's best in the hitting department. ASU's bullpen put together 15 scoreless innings against UCLA in the 2-game series. Junior left-handed pitcher Ben Jacobs looks to be today's starter, who is second in the Big 12 with 16 strikeouts. Will the 7-2 Sun Devils have an answer to the Golden Gophers' recent hot streak? Only time will tell, with first pitch set for 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time in Phoenix.
Staying on the diamond, Arizona State softball was in action this past weekend. The Sun Devils entered the Sun Devil Classic with a 7-4 record. Our Courtney DeWallaby has the recap.
Thanks, Jesse. Sun Devil softball closed out the Sun Devil Classic with a bang, taking down New Mexico State 5-1 behind a power-packed performance at the plate. Ashley Mejia set the tone early, launching a 3-run homer in the first. After a brief scoring drought, A.J. Murphy and Kelsey Hall added solo shots in the 5th to seal the win. On the mound, Mika Lupi and Kenzie Brown were a dominating duo. Now ASU turns its attention to the ASU Invitational, hosting 6 games in 4 days. The action kicks off Friday night against Oregon State as the Sun Devils look to extend their winning streak.
Thanks, Courtney. Well, Jesse, that seems to be all the time we have for today's show. I have to say, it's been a pleasure to share the desk with you.
Likewise, my friend, make sure to stay up to date on our in-depth coverage of ASU athletics throughout the year on our website, infernointelmedia.com, and on social media at Inferno Intel. For Adam Cunin and our entire crew, I'm Jesse Davis. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Inside the Inferno.